Founded in 1892, the Chevy Chase Club was the first club in the Washington metropolitan area and started out as a modest 6-hole golf course, recreation area, and hunt club. Today, it continues to be a refuge from hectic city life for its members and their families, a flourishing destination that hosts 18 holes of golf, 7 restaurants, and much more.
I look at this club as a social type club. We're not a club that wants to host major championships. We just like our traditions and the roots of the club, and that we have families, we have 3 and 4 generations that have belonged here. We take great pride in that, where the lineage continues, where a grandfather, a father, and the son can play golf together. It was set up as a kind of a recreational area for the communities around the Washington, D.C. area, suburban area, and it's grown to what it is today, an 18-hole golf course with an ice rink, tennis courts, 7 restaurants, great food and beverage, and we take pride in doing things right at Chevy Chase Club. We look at our food and beverage division as just as important as the golf course. Everything is, in my opinion, top-notch.
The golf course, with its parkland design, has a rich history that includes distinguished names like Donald Ross and Alistair McKenzie. In the most recent renovation, over 11 years ago, by Arthur Hills, they focused on preserving the traditional design features while upgrading to USGA greens, using bentgrass on greens, tees, and fairways.
It's an easy, you see exactly what you get. I mean, you can see every shot. There's nothing really hidden, or it's just there. We pride ourselves on green speed and the way the puttability of the golf course, and we pride ourselves, and also it's a very golfer-friendly golf course. I think the golfers appreciate consistency even more so than green speed. I don't want to have the greens go from one day 10, the next day to 12, next day to 11, next day 10. Next day 12. It's got to be consistent. So we try to do our best with taking a green speed every day. We can adjust the fertility, we can adjust the height of cut, we can adjust the growth regulators so that we can have a consistent green speed.
Recently, Dean Graves has been working to refine the greens again, but in a less disruptive way.
It started off 11 years ago and they were sodded to Crenshaw. Now we're interseeding and plugging A1, A4. Which has really been a proven turf for the Washington, D.C. area. With our humid, miserable summers, A1, A4 is really tried and true. It's done very well for many years in this area. Of course, when we built the greens, A1, A4 wasn't really known about. I look at it as buying like a 386 computer, which we did with Crenshaw. Of course, now we want a Pentium 4, and A1, A4 is where we're going to go. I actually put several plugs out on a green, and I asked my green committee to see if they could tell the difference between A1, A4, and Crenshaw, because they're afraid of there being a texture difference. They can see a distinct plugs or seating, and they couldn't discern where that plug was. So I was very happy that they were, the texture and the color all fit in nicely, so the transition would go smoothly. The interseeding, we've been doing that for about 7 years, and the plugging for the last several years. And the two are very compatible with each other. The members don't notice really any difference, especially in the long run. It all kind of blends together. But I know over time it's going to be an improved putting surface. We continue to do it over the years, and eventually something's going to germinate and survive. So I think it's more persistence. Also too, we are on a very aggressive poenia removal program, and when we plug out poenia that's on our greens, we replace it with A1, A4.
The persistence is paying off as Dean is beginning to see the benefits of their efforts.
A little bit of a change as far as drought tolerance goes, maybe a little bit less susceptibility to the dollar spot. We still have a distance to go until we get it converted, but just, again, persistence. I mean, this is a long-term program.
In addition to introducing the newer bentgrass varieties, Dean is also taking advantage of the latest technology.
I think the moisture meter is one of the handiest tools that I've seen in several years. I rank it right up there with soft spikes, in that we can go out and actually measure the moisture. I use my eyes a lot in the art of golf course management, but more and more tools are coming out to make it more of a science. Where I would think the greens or tees would have enough moisture I realize now that they're not quite the moisture level that will make it through the day. So it cuts back on the surprises.
Dean's advice for managing turf is to be flexible in your management programs.
It all depends upon the season. If it's a wet spring, we fertilize less. We may put out more growth regulators on the greens so they can have the correct putting speed. It might be like this year where it's hot and dry, then it turns wet again. We just have to be very flexible. Look in the future and what the forecast is going to be and make adjustments.